Hello and welcome to another one of my videos. Now today I've been searching through some of my old stocks and I'm finding quite a few rations which I've totally forgotten about and are getting out of date by a few years. And today I've found a Czech Republic 24-hour ration. This actually expired back in 2021, about 2.5 years ago. So let's get this on a table and see what this pack contains. And so, as you can see, I now have here on the table this Czech Army 24-hour BDP ration. This particular one is their menu number 4. And as I said in the intro, it expired in May 2021. Hopefully content should still be good. I'm finding a few old rations tucked away which I forgot about, and this was one of them. It comes in a sturdy plastic bag, very similar to the old style American MREs. No easy open tear strip on the top, so I'm going to bring in a friend just to slit across the back. This is a 24-hour ration. I have no idea on content, so it's going to be interesting to see how well the Czech rations stand the test of time. So inside the bag, when I can get it out, there is a simple cardboard box with a list of ingredients, and for me it's lucky, it says in English: beef with tomato sauce and pasta, pea fricassee and sardines in oil, luncheon meat. So everything is listed on the top there. So let's just get this open and see what this pack actually contains. Now, straight off the bat, there is a very smashed and hopefully not compromised luncheon meat. As you can see, it's had a lot of damage. Hopefully that's intact. We have an item. I don't know if this is the sterilised vegetables. I think there was a mention of sterilised vegetables there. We have what I think might be an instant chocolate. Obviously I'll do a full translation as we go along. That is a very broken and smashed chocolate bar. These are obviously the sardines. We also have a very little accessory pack containing 2 or 3 serviettes, 3 wet naps, 1 for each meal. There is a spoon and some toothpicks. Very simplistic plastic bag there. We also have 2 pots of jam. There is a second chocolate. This does look well and truly smashed. Nothing to do with me. This must have been how the vendor sold it to me all those years ago. There is a third jam, so there are 3 types of jam. Now this is a 300-gram pot, so this must be the pasta in tomato sauce, one of the main meals. There is another one, so this could be the pea fricassee or vice versa. They're both 300 grams, but one is pasta in tomato sauce and pea fricassee. We shall do a full translation. We have some corn crisp bread with fibre. We have another crisp bread, but this time a light crisp bread. So one is obviously multi-grain fibre and one is plain crisp bread. And we have another accessory pack containing 2 royal salam teas. Don't know where I can get these in there. think I'm going to need to get these out separately. We have 1, 2 coffees, so 2 teas, 2 coffees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 sugar sachets. If we can get that on there. We have 2 salt. I think that is chewing gum, 4 pieces, and a multivitamin drinks powder. That is the contents of this Czech Republic BDP menu 4. So let's come back with what I would consider breakfast laid out on a tray. I'll see you in a moment. And so, as you can see, I now have here laid out on the tray what I would consider breakfast from this Czech Republic 24-hour ration. Now, it's a strange combination of items. I wouldn't normally have this for breakfast, but it made the most sense out of the items I had. So, for breakfast, I'm going to have some sardines in oil with some lemon. I'll take a look at the luncheon meat. Have some of the fibre crisp breads. There is chewing gum for cleansing the palate afterwards, a coffee and some jam, plum jam in this case, again as a bit of sweetness after the meal. Now I'm going to start where I normally like to start, that is with the drinks, and I'm going to take a look at the instant coffee. No sort of branding, just an expiry date of 06/21, so no other indication of the brand. Sounds nice and free moving, so I think the content should still be good. So there are large granules, medium looking roasting colour, and I'm going to make this as I like by adding this one of the sugars, one of the 8 sugars. Normally I would like milk, but there was no milk in the pack, so it's going to have to be black with sugar, and it's quite coarse grained granular sugar. Need to open this little spoon. Quite a flimsy spoon, not the best one out there, but it should serve its purpose. And we'll give this about 1/2 to 3/4 of a mug again. Just to give it its best chance of strength and flavour. There's about 1/2 a mug there. Now there is only one other cold drink, so I'm going to save that for another meal. So in this case I'm just going to have water, just to cleanse the palate. There is tea and there is one cold drink, so that makes the 3 meals. I shall have one for each. Moving around, start opening the main items. First of all, we have the Plum Jam. So there was 3 jams, 1 for every meal. Quite difficult to open, so I'm just going to bring in my trusty friend just to help me slice the top off that jam. Trying to be a little bit careful, not too heavy handed. I've just sharpened my knife. The last thing I want is a slip. So very strong plastic, doesn't want to go at all. So this is a basic looking plum jam. I just need to clean my knife off a little bit. Moving on round, we have the very battered luncheon meat. I have slightly tried to straighten it, cannot see any package damage, so hopefully I'll give that a smell. It doesn't smell untoward, so we'll be careful with the taste test. Any unusual taste, we won't be using that. Now we have a corn crisp bread with fibre. This is the one I'm worried about the most being out of date. Obviously crackers are the ones that tend to suffer first with going soft. So just dropping crumbs everywhere. There is 6 cracker breads. We have the gum. I think after eating fish I'm going to need some of the gum, so let's have a look at the gum. Again, those simplistic packaging, all brown. 4 little mint briquettes. I should just get one for now. And we have a clean up wipe, which I think I'm going to need in a minute because I seem to be spilling it everywhere. And I'm just going to open now the sardines in oil with citrus lemon, something I've never had before. Not the sardines in oil, of course, I've had those, but with a lemon flavour. And again, because I have and because I can, I have a little dish there. I'm going to try and bring those out. So there is actually a piece of lemon. I've never seen there is actually a piece of lemon within the fish there. And I'm going to need that wet nap now. I'm covered. There is a strange smell coming from that fish. Hope everything is okay. I hope it's just the lemon and not the fish has suffered. It'd be very unusual for tinned sardines to spoil, but I suppose they can. Very, very wet, paper-based napkin. Stronger than most, but still paper. Does its job. Nice, clean, fresh hands. No distinctive smell. So, wow. I'm going to move those around a little bit. So I'm going to start where I normally like to start. That is with the coffee. So it's a medium to dark looking roast. It's a good coffee. Nice flavour. Not bitter. With a well-rounded flavour. A little bit of milk will make that a really good tasty coffee. For an instant, that's an enjoyable, tasty, decent instant coffee. A little whitener or a little bit of milk and that'd be a very, very good coffee. Just cleanse my palate. Okay, so I'm going to move straight along. Take a look at the sardines now. There is a slice of lemon that's been in the tin with the oil. That has given it a strange sort of smell. I'm not sure if it's the sardines or whether it's meant to smell like that. It's not something I've ever had before. I've had sardines in tomato sauce, sardines in oil, but never lemon oil. So let's give this a little taste. It might be short-lived. It's a strange smell. Surprisingly, that smell, it is just the lemon with the oil. The lemon has given it a nice taste. It's fish with lemon. Nothing wrong with those. Typical canned, tinned sardines. 3 little fish. First time I've ever seen a piece of lemon, but it does actually give those a nice flavour. I don't think they need any explanation. Canned sardines in oil. Exactly what they are, exactly what they taste like. Surprisingly, very enjoyable with that lemon flavouring. So, first time I've had them with lemon, but it works. Very simplistic, very oily, just canned sardines. Strange breakfast, but it does work. Nice flavoured sardines. Now have a look at this luncheon meat. Careful with the first mouthful. I think I need to clear my palate, so I've got a fresh, clear. Try the coffee first to get rid of the oil, then the water. This is the one I'm most concerned about because of the damage to the packet, so on a fresh palate, just so I can taste if anything seems untoward. Typical luncheon meat texture, spam texture, a little bit of congealed fat there. That's past its best. I'm not going to eat any more. I'm not convinced. That may be okay, but there is a slight flavour in the background. With it being meat, 2.5 years past its best before, and that big dent in the corner, you don't know if that allowed a little bit of air in. Typical spam luncheon meat texture. I think 4 years ago or 5 years ago when this was produced, that would have been a very nice, very tasty, didn't seem over salted, didn't seem over peppered, a nice tasty, or would have been tasty luncheon meat. Right now there is just a little background something, and my taste is telling me don't to go any further. So I'm sure that would have been a great tasting luncheon meat, but age and damage has made it a little bit suspect. I'm just going to wipe my hands again. I've got a little tissue off here. So moving on round, we'll have a look at these crisp breads. Still lots of crack, lots of crispiness. They do seem a little bit soft. The crispiness is there, but they just seem a little bit past their best. Try some of the fish. Make a good bulking agent. Just a basic crisp cracker. A little bit past their best now, but 2.5 years past their best. Still perfectly edible, just not as good as they would have been a couple of years ago. Refresh my palate one more time. Moving on round to this plum jam. Try a little bit first. So it's a semi-set gel rather than a jam. There's liquid coming out of there. It's sweet, overpoweringly sweet. A lot of sugar has gone into that. It's more like a gel than a jam. Nice plum flavour. Obviously meant to go with a cracker, so a little bit on the cracker. Age has took its toll, but again, without the age of the cracker, you know, that would have been a nice, good combination in its fresher lifetime. But there's certainly nothing wrong with the jam. Jam's very difficult to spoil. Nice, tasty, flavoursome, just separated slightly, but certainly still edible, and would have gone well with the crackers. Just refresh my palate one more time. So take a look at one of those gums. So the standard briquettes, firm gum, crispy shell, a lot of mint oil, good quality gum, firm gum, a lot of oil in there, great palate cleanser, breath cleanser after eating some of the combinations of food. Nice gum. Strong mint flavour. Peppermint. Lots of flavour there. A good mouth cleansing gum. So, breakfast. I think it was ruined a little bit by age. The sardines were something I've never tasted before, with the lemon already in the oil, but it did make a nice difference. Nothing wrong with the sardines, just a taste I weren't used to, weren't expecting, but I found a new taste I enjoy. Something, not sure, something told me don't eat no more of that, you have to go with your gut. I did see it was smashed. There is a slight taste there which I wouldn't normally associate with canned meat, so I'm not eating no more. But again, I think in its heyday that would have been a very nice, enjoyable luncheon meat. Same with the crackers, slightly soft now, tasting a little bit past their best, but you know they was good back in the day. And the gum, nice, refreshing palate cleanser. The best part was the coffee. The coffee was definitely a good grade coffee. A couple of years ago this would have been one of the best coffees I think in any ration, so that's high praise for the coffee. Still a good all-round coffee now. Whoops. So I'm going to leave it here. Please join me in the next video where I take a look at their lunch and dinner components. But for now, thanks for watching. Please like, share, subscribe and hit that notification button for future videos coming very soon. So thank you and goodbye.